not the time for an across-the-board pay increase, but a contract is a contract.
And I'll also add, that was one of many things they mentioned in their letter. I think one of the other things they mentioned in their letter was to try to question the governor's authority and his executive orders, particularly saying that they want to do a broad review. So we actually did a broad review for an understanding. It's about 70% of the governor's executive orders have relaxed a statutory or regulatory requirement that was previously passed by the General Assembly under law. 70%. To allow for the governor to respond to this public health emergency, to ensure our municipalities were able to do what they need to do and ensure that our health sector was able to respond. So we look forward to if they want to do a further review, but easily we'll be happy to send it right over to them.
Thank you.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon. I had a question for Dave from Indeed. You handle a lot of help a lot of people trying to find jobs. Is Connecticut's workforce prepared? Do you think that people can slide into some of these jobs, or do you think it's going to take people a long time and they may get frustrated and try something else? I mean, how prepared are these people that you try to help?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and it really varies based on the type of opportunity that a job seeker is going after. When we do these virtual hiring events, we typically do some early stage screening just to verify the eligibility of the job seekers for the roles that the companies are hiring for. And the skill levels and the requirements can really vary significantly. So I think in a number of these service sector jobs, the number of skills in terms of certifications or advanced education that are needed are fairly limited, and those are the jobs that are needed right now. So I think we've been trying really hard to get those employers matched up with job seekers who can help them run their businesses. And then to some of the other points that have been made, when local municipalities or the state put into place programs where job seekers can build skills that are matched to the demand in the market, then that becomes a really impactful part of the process.
Thank you. And my other question is for Dante Bartolomeo. Dante and I have talked a few times about the contact center, which is going to open in mid-July. Is it still very crucial to have that? I would imagine it would, even though we're seeing a decline in people who are, may not need benefits for that long, but you're going to find people who are going to need partial benefits, right? Because business is not going to bring back as many employees. And what's the status with the contact center and negotiations?
So you're going out in and out a little bit, Susan. Yes, it is still absolutely necessary that we get the contact center up and going. Given the pandemic, we had to close the AJCs, the American Job Centers, to the public, as you know. So we need a way to be able to connect with our customers more than we were prepared to have. We didn't have the technology available for that. We didn't have the phone service available for that. And without personal contact, which customer service was fantastic when we had 18 locations throughout the state that customers could go in and work with folks. Given the pandemic, we found ourselves in a very, very difficult situation, as well did our claimants. It's imperative that we have it because not only are we seeing, this influx in Connecticut state unemployment applications, which is slowing slightly right now, but we also had to stand up 3 additional federal programs without any notice at all, as you are aware. So we've stood up the $600 FPUC. We've stood up the PUA for self-employed and other exhaustees. We've stood up the PEUC for exhaustees as well. We're in development and preparing for the EB, which is the extended benefit for the state unemployments, which we've triggered because of the quick increase in unemployment rates. And there may even be one beyond that. So the point is that we are still in the middle of these programs. They will continue with the extended benefits, especially. And then there's also a need on the back end to be working with folks a lot and to be able to be doing a lot more of processing on the back end. The contact center.
You have been watching live coverage of Governor Lamont's Daily Briefing. This is Dante Bartolomeo answering our question from Susan Raff. We'll have a complete wrap-up of what happened at that news conference in the event you missed it coming up a little bit later on Eyewitness News. But right now,
from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5.
right now on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock, big changes are coming to the Hartford Police Department. What City Hall is doing with money that will impact the HPD. Also developing right now, the Jennifer Dulos case is back in the news this Thursday night. State police are searching in a Hartford suburb once again. What are investigators thinking more than a year after the mother of 5 disappeared? These stories are coming up, but first, an early warning weather alert. A live look from our iCams in Middletown and New London show a dreary day across Connecticut. Storms are moving across our state right now with heavy rain and worries about flooding. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dennis Sassons. No surprise, it is stormy right now across Connecticut. That's because Bruce DePriest and the Weather Department predicted it days in advance. He joins us now actual weather center. Nice to have you in from the home weather center. The first time I've seen you in person since March, so welcome.
In months. I know it's been a long
Nice
time. Good to see you too, Dennis, and good to be back in the weather center where we're close to our technology. All right, so let's take a look at some of that technology. This is early warning pinpoint Doppler. We got some pouring rain in parts of the state. It has shifted to the east of Hartford, but we'll focus in on this one area around Coventry, and you can see right there on South Street and over on Flanders Road, Bunker Hill Road. I'm familiar with that, and Willimantic Road. The rain is coming down really hard, so a nice bullseye of a heavy rain right over Coventry at the moment. We got more heavy rain in northern Connecticut and Tolland County, where you can see right there around Tolland itself, some pretty hefty downpours. And keep in mind, this is coming during a time when there is a little bit more traffic on the road. So you got to be careful, because this is not only reducing the visibility, but it is also putting a lot of water on the roadway. So please be very careful if you're going to be out in the roadways over the next couple of hours, especially to the east of I-91. As far as rainfall totals go, Meriden picked up over an inch, Bristol nearly 0.8 of an inch, Hartford about 0.6 inches, Roger and Wethersfield came in with about 3/4 of an inch, Wellington 0.37. So we'll take the rain. Rain is something we could use during the growing season for sure. There's our iCam in Hartford, where the rain is a lot lighter now than it was a little while ago, and the same is true in Middletown. Both locations had a pouring rain not that long ago. So you can see on the bigger picture, I think the heaviest rain is going to be shifting out of Connecticut over the next hour or two, but until a cold front moves through, there's still going to be the chance for a couple of showers. So there you can see on Futurecast, the heavy rain by 7 is to the east of Connecticut, but there's still going to be scattered showers in the state right up to around midnight as a cold front moves through. Then by tomorrow morning, most of the state is going to be in the clear, or partly cloudy skies, some lingering clouds in southeastern Connecticut, but then it's going to turn out to be a pretty nice day from lunchtime all the way into Friday evening. It looks like plenty of sunshine, and the humidity is going to be a lot lower than it is right now. I'll let you know if that nice weather will carry over into the weekend coming up in the early warning forecast.
Looking forward to it, Bruce. Thank you. Turning now to developing news out of the city of Hartford. Big cuts to the police force. The city council is slicing off $1 million from the department. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino is live at Hartford City Hall now. So, Mike, I know a lot of people are concerned. What does this exactly mean for the department?
Yes, and Dennis, the thing is, this still isn't the dramatic cuts that we saw protesters and even a few councilors calling for yesterday. But for the councilors who supported this, they say that this is part of a change to move towards broader reforms.
So I think with the youth and recreation, what we're going to be able to see this upcoming year is more activities in the school.
Hartford Common councilors saying they put an emphasis on community services in the upcoming budget. Among the changes the council made Tuesday night, cutting $1 million from the police budget and repurposing another $1 million. Those changes account for about 2% of the $45 million budget that Mayor Luke Bronin proposed.
Reimagining policing, it doesn't happen overnight, but the truth is we need police.
A group of protesters rallied at City Hall before the vote, demanding more dramatic change. Some wanted the department defunded completely, those funds going to other services. But Bronin says that would get in the way of reforms already in place.
It also wouldn't have been transformative. You know, it would have just left us with 100 fewer officers, no community service officers, no walk beats.
The council moved $1 million within the police budget, adding $700,000 for training, things like de-escalation and cultural sensitivity. The other $300,000 is an increase in officers walking their beats. Another $1 million was cut from the department, the funding going to the Civilian Police Review Board, the Department of Public Works, Health and Human Services Department, and Youth and Recreational Programming. The police union issued a statement calling the changes fair, but two counselors with the Working Families Party wanted a 21% cut to free up more money for services. Councilor Wildelise Bermudez saying it's a moment where people are demanding of us as public officials more in terms of public services. But other counselors say those changes will take time.
You know, that's just simply not practical, but I understood why they did it.
Now, on Monday, the council also created an accountability review board to come up with changes for the future. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, I'll have more on some of the changes that council members want to see. Reporting live from Hartford, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.